Hello.
Gonna change the world with my hockey stick. Gonna make a real difference. Feed the poor and heal the sick.
Yeah.
Number
Yeah.
46.
We don't have Chippy here today, so I gotta be yeah. Gotta be Chippy, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just do some crazy weird yelling in the background or something.
Just in the background. Just whoa.
Chippy went to Buffalo to a tournament. He got exposed to about 1,000 kids, and that's just a recipe to get sick. Like,
That'll do it to you.
There's no way you're not getting sick. If you're taking like selfies and kids are passing you things to sign, like, and then he probably didn't wash his hands immediately after, went and ate a sub, I bet, after, and just like, oh, he got everything.
Yeah.
He's got like 9 different things right now.
He's got the vid. He's got the flu. He's got just the regular cold.
He should have came to hockey. I could have let him like smell my hockey towel, because like it would counteract. Like it is the cause of, but also cure to, basically every disease.
The hockey towel is basically a flu shot when
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it only works before. Like if you just have hockey a couple times a week, that's enough of a exposure to bacteria that you can fight off like the common cold.
Yeah, there's a lot of things growing on that towel, right? And it just becomes a natural antibiotic.
I have 2. I have a gym towel and a hockey towel.
Yeah.
And they just cycle between like drying phases.
Oh, right, smart. Yeah, 2 different, because one's like in a gym bag. It's different sort of atmosphere. But I mean, another good thing you can do is just don't wear sandals when you shower, and make sure you step in all like the weird puddles that never dry up.
Yeah.
Going with the sewer rat, you got to be as healthy as a sewer rat. Just expose yourself to as much as possible. But, yeah, Chippy, not on the pod, but
just me and you today.
The show must go on. I thought it'd be fun. So last pod, I went to my hockey game with Mason's team, and one of the kids, I don't know, should I say names on the pod? Am I allowed to?
First name.
I'll call him out. Sure, Hudson. Hudson comes up and he's like,
Hudson, you beauty.
There we go. He's like, Coach Jeremy, he's like, I listen to your podcast all the time. And I didn't know he had like 8-year-old fans, because Mason like just couldn't care at all about.
We're dropping F-bombs all the time. So I'm just kidding.
We try to keep it PG, but the odd time, we're like, okay, parental warning. Hey, parents.
Put the earmuffs on.
Not for this pod. We're keeping this one real PG. We don't have Chippy, that degenerate, on it. He won't even listen to it. He won't know that I said that. Anyway, so Hudson, he's 8 years old, and he's like, I love your pod. I listen to it all the time, me and my dad. And it was cool. So his dad, Dustin, is one of the coaches on the team.
Dustin and Hudson?
Dustin and Hudson.
That's
what a
unreal.
nice combo.
Yeah.
But he's a beaut as well. Like, we have a great coaching staff there. Like, really good. Every coach, my buddy Mike is on the team, and then Brent is the head coach, but all very involved. And Dustin always helps with the goalies, and Hudson's a goalie.
Oh, okay.
But he came up and he's like, I love the pod. I listen to it all the time. He's like, but all you did was talk about Mason. I'm like, well, I didn't know that our team was.
Also, that's your son.
Yeah,
so.
I was like, that's what I said. He's like, hey, my pod, my kid. I'm going to talk about my kid on my pod, all right?
Dustin, you can start your own podcast talking
go.
about Hudson.
No, I thought it'd be kind of funny to do like a minor hockey team stereotypes, where you sort of identify the different types of kids that end up on a hockey team.
Oh, the kids on the team, right?
Or like, players in general, because I think it carries through.
Yeah, you once you kind of earn a stereotype, it kind of sits with you for the rest of your minor hockey career, I think.
It's pretty much like a personality type thing, because I've been coaching for a long time, and I see a lot of different types of kids.
Right.
And I think we're a couple months into the hockey season now, and you could pretty much be like, oh, yep, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so, yep, that's so-and-so. Right? So I thought it'd be kind of fun to do.
All right.
I guess I'll start it off.
Sure.
Number one, as a coach, I'm going to go with the star, right? And this is the type of player, you blow the whistle, they're the first in.
Yeah.
Always the first. They come with speed, hockey stop, take a knee, and they're just looking at you.
They're just ready to be fed information.
They just have
be challenged.
such a desire to learn. And when you tell them something, it's like, boom, they're trying it.
And it doesn't matter if they're the star player on the team, the best player. It's the attitude.
Sorry, that is a great point because they're not always a star.
Yeah.
You're right.
They're just there, always ready to do their best, which is, in the coach's mind, the best thing you could ask for.
Yes. Okay, that is a good point because sometimes the star isn't the best listener, and you got to kind of rope them in because it depends on which age group you're at. Sometimes when you have a mix of skill on your team, the kid that's like the best is kind of like, I already know how to do all this, and then just starts
gets detached from the rest of the events because he feels like it's below him in a sense sometimes.
And you know what's kind of funny? Mason does this. Like I'm trying to teach crossovers, and he has this in his head. He's like, I already know how to do that. He's already heard me teach him, right? So he doesn't need to listen to me a second time.
Yeah.
And so I'll be teaching the group. Everyone take a knee. I'm talking about crossovers. In his head, he's just like, I know how to do crossovers. He just gets up and starts ripping around in circles doing crossover. Right? I'm like, just listen to the lesson.
Yeah.
And then
you might pick up something new, Mason.
Yeah. Or just like make me not have to say, Mason, take a knee.
Right.
So we continue the drill. But that's my first one is, should I call him a star?
The star listener.
Star listener. Oh, coaches love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go the opposite route. I'm going with the sleepy Stan. They show up to the rink half asleep. Parents have to like drag them into the arena with the bag and put the gear on them. They're just like super tired. Don't want to be there. They get out on the ice. They're kind of just like dragging their feet.
Oh no!
It takes them about 15 minutes just to realize they're on the ice, and then they can start doing stuff. But the sleepy Stan, that's definitely a stereotype, especially for the younger kids.
Yeah. I had one last year. Brother loved the game. I think I talked about this a couple pods ago, so one brother was like great, loved the game. The other one just like trying to take naps in between shifts, right? Like during the games, he just laying on the bench, be like, "When's the game?" Oh, here we go, the clock watcher. The clock watcher. Hate this as a coach.
When are we gonna scrimmage?
It's like, is practice over yet? What time is it done? What time is it over at? Stop asking me. Just focus on the drills and do the drills. And even during the games, coach, when's the game over? I'm like, there's a clock up there. Just right. But I guess on the other side, you got the clock watcher who, and we don't really get this with the younger kids. They're good. The buzzer goes every 2 minutes. They switch out.
Right.
But once you start coaching a little older, you get the kids that come to the bench. Coach, that was a 30-second shift. Like, yep, because you guys went really hard. Well, they stayed out for a minute. It's because they got hemmed into their own zone. I wasn't gonna call them off.
Yeah.
Like this was it's like sometimes you get like that 38-second shift, and you're like, I need to change them now because if I don't now,
they'll get trapped.
It might be a minute and 38 seconds, and then it's like gone too long, right? Oh, but those kids that comment on when you like, just let me open the door, tell you who's going out, and don't talk to me about it. But those kids can get on my nerves.
Yeah. Next stereotype. I'm gonna go with the try hard.
Oh, okay.
Is
this in a negative tone?
I would say in a negative tone. Yeah.
Okay.
Like the suck up. The try hard suck up. The player that it isn't really doing anything to benefit the practice or the team or the game, but they always talk to the coach and suck up to the coach. Like the Ryan Reeves of the...
the Ryan Reeves.
No, like, you know what I'm talking about. The kid that's like always like saying the right things to coach, but then doesn't do anything good.
Oh, there's this great meme that's going around on TikTok where like the coach gives a speech.
Yeah.
Right? And then he leaves the room, and then the kid goes, "Coach is right, guys." Right?
Exactly.
He starts
the suck up.
The coach is right, guys. We need to, like, he's trying to like pump up the
We
players.
need to get those pucks in deep. We got to win those board battles.
Just says
get the puck on net.
Yeah, it says the exact same thing the coach just said. Coach is right, guys.
I call that the mockingbird.
Oh, yeah.
Like a bit of a different, but that's more as only annoying as like a teenager.
It's kind of
Yeah.
no, I for sure.
It doesn't really happen as a kid. As the kids just are like doing their own.
Oh, they don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then like you start to get that. Oh, it starts to get under your skin,
Mhm.
and then you identify. It's kind of like the teacher's pet type thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'm gonna throw in the team player.
Mm.
So on our team we got Sophie, and she is just dynamite with her passes.
Ooh.
Gets the puck, and she just has head up and just puts it tape to tape, and love to see it. So we paired her with Connor, who's just like a great skater, super great edges, and they were just lights out in the game. I think the last game we won like 20-4.
Ooh.
So we've played every team. It's not looking good for the other teams. We like every game we've won by.
Is it
like,
still half ice? Or
yeah, it's still half ice.
Right.
Once it goes just to full ice, though, it's going to be worse.
Right.
Because we got
Gives them
guys
more
that can
time.
wheel.
Yeah.
We got kids that can protect the puck really well. Like every kid on our team has something.
And
know,
you
that
got
they're good at.
Hudson and net, so
Hudson is actually dynamite. Yeah, when he's focused.
right.
Usually what he does is he'll let like 3 or 4 in early, and then he's like, oh, I should start playing now.
Yeah.
Right, and then
I
he
want to keep it a close game.
yeah. So the last game we played, I think it was like after the first period, it was like 7-6, a little bit like closer, and then I had to leave. I had to jet because I had to go pick up Olivia. Oh man, it was a crazy schedule. I was a single dad. I drove. I went and picked the kids up from school. I drove Olivia to gymnastics, dropped her off. I had Mason's gear. I also made peanut butter and jam sandwiches so they could eat in the vehicle because I'm like, boom, go to school. Here, eat this. Olivia, you're at gymnastics. Take your outfit and your water. Okay, good. See ya. Then I had to drive Mason to a different town to drop him off at hockey. I'm also assistant coach, so like pump up speech, get his gear on. You good to go? Here's your water bottle. Good? Okay. Hop in the vehicle, drive back to get Olivia.
Yeah.
So I could make it for her pickup, right? And it was staggered start. And then I would have had to drive back to the rink to pick Mason up, bring them home, then cook dinner and put him to bed. That was going to be basically like from 3:30 to 7:30, my whole schedule.
Taxi.
Yes, I put the taxi sign on the vehicle.
Put an Uber sign on your car.
But Mason has a few friends on the team, so I asked if one of the parents could
some help.
yeah, I was like, could you drive Mason home just so it saves me from going to cold water and back?
Right.
Yeah, it was a crazy schedule there. Anyway, so that game I had to leave early, and it was like 7-6. And then I texted the parents after, or the coach after, hey, how'd the game go? Oh yeah, we won like 18-7.
Oh,
I was like, oh,
they got better after you left.
well, yeah, well, that's the thing. Hudson's like, yeah, I'm gonna stop every puck now.
Right.
Yeah, but he's a great goaltender for sure.
Love to hear that.
Well, I mean, it's hard because we got decent players. It's a house league team, right? So local league, we still travel.
Right.
But yeah, there's on other teams, there's kids that like can't skate that well, and we're
Right.
just dominating. So
That's what happens. Like until they get a bit older, then it can get a bit more competitive.
well, what do we do? And, like, because we're trying to implement. All right,
Keep dominating. Chip,
That's
you
what
would
I'm
say,
saying.
pump the net.
fill the net.
Yeah.
Make every other team quit hockey.
Mason, I want to see you drive that net hard. I don't care if we're up 21-3. Take it to the net.
Well, you want so what we did is just implement a pass rule, right? Start moving the puck
I remember
around.
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
like 3 passes before you shoot.
Mhm.
Let's get some of the guys that hadn't scored some goals, right?
Right. So speaking of passing, that was your stereotype, the team player
Yeah, the
Sophie?
team player, she just like always looking
for the perfect pass.
looking for the passes. She's also like she was running the warm up, right? So it's like more of a leadership role, but like the team player, you're there for the team. Not selfish at all. Like she went on a breakaway, cut wide, gave it to Connor. Connor gives it back to her. It's like nice tic-tac-toe plays. Yeah, just like
Kind of fits in with the most sportsman-like. Never
Yeah.
gets a penalty.
Yeah.
My next one, I think I'm gonna go with the bull in a china shop.
Oh yeah.
I can't, like, I can think of a few guys I played with growing up, but even on our men's league, there's a guy like that. And that's Andrew.
Andrew.
The guy, the player on your team that is just always in the corners, always like stick flailing around, body flailing around, but comes out with the puck a lot of the time because they're just the bull in the china shop, wreaking havoc and winning puck battles.
Here's the tell for that player. Feet do not stop moving.
Right.
That's the thing. Like you're attacking the puck, you get on the player, and you just keep on moving your feet and basically just plow through them. You know.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what Andrew does. But there was a player on the other team that was doing that. Number 17, opening shift comes and it's non-contact. We're 8-year-olds playing, right?
Right.
comes just steaming in and plows over one of the kids on the ice.
What?
Yeah. Late, and then
Are there refs in this, or
there's a ref, but it's
Yeah.
like they're refs in training, and they don't really call penalties because like, oh yeah, we'll just let the kids know. Sort of
Right.
thing. Like 15 seconds later, absolutely labels another kid against the boards, but like he's just going for the puck.
he's on a rampage?
He was bowling a China shot, man. Just full tilt, and just doesn't stop. I don't think the kid knew how to stop. He was really fast.
Luis Mendoza out there.
Yeah, Mendoza. Anyways, just labeled another kid against the boards. Nolan he's very dramatic, right? So he falls over and just lays on the ice for like 30 seconds.
I'm
like,
hit, coach. I'm hit.
I just saw my life leave my body. Come back to me. Come back to me, spirit. And then,
Oh God.
yeah, so his spirit came back into his body. He got up, but the ref didn't call penalty. But our
Because
coach,
it's clearly accidental,
it's like,
reckless.
yeah, I don't know. It's just like they're going for the puck and he just collided, but the one kid was like bowling.
I think you
China shot.
get one, and
Well-
then if it keeps happening, then you got to like teach the kid, okay, you can't keep
So that's what happened.
bowling over players like they're freaking bowling.
Their coach and our coach was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And their coach is like, "Ask the ref, can you kick our player off the ice, please, so we can have a little sit down chat with him?"
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
That's funny. That's how it goes in local league U9.
Yep.
Yeah, you get one. They can skate pretty fast, but they don't have all the tools in the toolbox to be able to control their body.
Yeah. let me throw another one in there. Stereotype. We'll say the early bloomer. This is the kid who just like
It's often the girls on the team. I find
yeah, maybe because they're better listeners.
they're better listeners, so they get more out of practice, and also once it starts getting into like the preteen years, they usually go through their growth spurt earlier.
Oh, that is true. Yeah.
So they have a bit of an edge on the guys for like a year or two there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, what I notice, the early bloomers are the ones who just are a level above, and they can skate. It's usually the skating.
They usually have an
really
older
shows.
sibling too.
That yes,
Yeah.
older sibling. They've been playing against their older brothers.
That's like my brother. He was
Yeah.
animal.
And
Yeah.
and what I find is you get it because they just love playing, right? So some kids, it's like, oh, when's hockey? Thursday. All right, and then they go to hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Come home. Now it's Legos. It's playing tags with their friends. It's just
Everything but.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I coach kids like this. They've just been on their iPad like all
Yeah.
week long. They show up to practice. They don't look much different,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then you get these other kids, and from one week to the next, it's like, dang, how'd you get so good at stick handling? Oh, coach, I've been in my garage. I've been working on my shot. Look what I learned. Look, I'm working on my backhand. Hey, coach, is this how you said the snapshot like this?
Yeah.
Oh, coach, remember what you said about that, right? They're just like, they remembered everything I said, and they're taking it home and trying it, right? So you get these kids that just get so good so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then they take over the game. So yeah, the early bloomers, like you said, usually older siblings. They have the competition, and also they go home and they just like they're obsessed. They're obsessed with the game.
I was always playing road hockey with my brother.
Yeah.
Like I never really felt like I was training.
Mhm.
It was just I wanted to be playing hockey more, and if I didn't have practice, then what was I gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out on the road and start shooting pucks, or like
Exactly.
shooting pucks in the basement, working on like we had like this plastic like tube snowman.
Yep.
Like it was a decoration, but my dad cut the top of it, and we could put our hockey sticks in it,
Mhm.
and I'd use that as an obstacle to shoot around
Oh,
in the
nice.
basement. So yeah, if you hit it though, it'd be like boom.
Oh yeah. So I did something like that for Mason. Like he needs a little inspiration to work on his skills, right?
right.
And I was like, we haven't worked on a shot for a long time, or he hasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I know he's got a good shot, but he was getting a little rusty.
Right.
I was like, well, hockey season's here. Let's go work on it. I took a cardboard box, like a big one,
Mm-hmm.
and I just threw it in front of the net in the garage. And I was like, all right, Mason, try to lift it. All I want to do is see if you could get him to consistently lift his
With some power.
consistently lift the puck,
Mhm.
because he was kind of like flipping it.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
like-
I've seen him do that shot, and it doesn't work as well on the ice because
No,
there's
yeah.
not as much friction.
Yeah. So I was like, so I got a giant cardboard box that took up most of the net,
Right.
and I was like, you have to shoot it over this box.
Mm.
Something as simple as that, it just gets him motivated. And he's like just trying and trying and trying and trying until one gets over, gets that excitement, right? And then the nice thing about the box is if he hit it, it would make like a little dent in it.
Right.
So he liked that as well. So I was like, okay, try to shoot one through the box. Now he's working on his power just trying to shoot through a cardboard box. When they're kids, it's like harder to do. Right. But once he started like getting some good dents and beating it up, it just gave him like something to do. Like, oh, Dad, can I go?
Little sub-motivating.
Exactly. Can I go beat the box up again?
Speaking about that, we might as well get into it. We had someone message the Puck Daddy Instagram asking how to keep their son motivated throughout the season.
Oh.
So like just maybe we can go over some like generalized minor hockey tips.
That's a great idea.
On like how to keep your kids invested in
in
the game.
Let's do it. I'm gonna go one last stereotype. I'll keep it quick. It's the space case.
Space cadet.
The space cadet. Is that?
That's how I always.
Yeah, space cadet.
Space
case. I don't know. Space cadet. The space cadet. That's the kid who he's in the group. The coach is explaining things. He's looking. He's watching, or she. But when it comes to the drill, just completely forgot everything that was just said. And
sometimes literally they'll be looking at the ceiling.
That's true.
Or they and they always have the bubble. The bubble cage.
Yeah, and like every drill, you just can count on them to just mess one thing up. No matter, and even if they're at the back of the line, they had a chance to watch like 10 other players do it properly. They're just sitting there. They're looking. It looks like they're looking at the drill, and then okay, go. And they just look at you with that blank stare in their eyes. And like, oh, come.
Yeah.
Just it's simple around the. No, okay. And then you got to explain it to them again. And
You know what's kind of funny about that saying?
Yeah.
The space cadet.
Yeah.
Is why does that even exist? Like to me, an astronaut is someone who's smart and has to pay attention to every detail.
Right. I guess because their mind's in outer space.
I guess it's
That's probably it.
Right. So their mind isn't here with us.
It's not on Earth with us. It's not on the ice.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Let's do. You want to do the mailbag?
Well, no, it's not the mailbag. Because you were talking about like motivating Mason, like with that cardboard box, like shooting it over it, shooting it through it. So just rhyme off a few other like tips that parents can use to keep their kids motivated and improve throughout the season aside from at hockey practice.
Yes, I would say number one is just nurture their love for the game. If you were blessed with a kid who just likes to actually practice in their off time, allow them to, give them a nice environment.
Be an enabler.
Oh yeah,
and if they're like bored and looking for something to do, one thing my parents would always do, like if I'm bugging them, like, oh, can I play Wii or can I see if so and so can play or whatever? They'll be like, why don't you just go shoot some pucks? And be like, you know what? Sure, yeah.
If they accept that,
because like to me, that's always been fun.
Yes.
So it'd be like, why don't you go shoot some pucks or play guitar or go outside? But like shooting pucks was always top tier.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. So skating, you can only really get better on the ice. But there's 7 days of the week. You might get a lot of hockey players, you get one game, one practice.
If you're not playing high level, yeah.
Exactly. Right? Or like,
I think I would get, as a rep player, I'd get sometimes 2 practices a week at most. Usually 1 and then 2 games.
Yeah. Yeah. So
like
you don't have a lot of chances to improve, right? So stick handling, there's 7 days in a week. You got stick handling and shooting.
And none of those practices are individual skills usually.
Oh, once they get older, no, it's all team dynamics, team tactics and stuff like that, right? So you don't really get to work on your skills and hone them. So you want to work on that at home, stick handling, shooting. And it's as simple as a stick handling ball or like a green biscuit, the puck, and just have them like stick handling around, set up little courses, make it fun.
Yeah.
Right? That's the biggest thing, is just to make it fun.
I used to use golf balls for stick handling.
Golf balls is great, and you can put some hockey tape around it so they don't like not as fast.
Right.
That's
and it's a bit quieter.
A little quieter too.
Yeah.
You can download or go into the website, thepond.howtohockey.com. Sign up for that.
Got an intro to shooting course on there.
Yeah, we got a lot of training courses on there. If the kids, especially over Christmas, kids are going to be home from school, bored, right?
Well, we have the pond too.
The outdoor rinks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you can go, or the backyard rink. I meant like we have like the training site.
Yeah, that's why I said the pond.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the on the merch site. Because we have a shooting course on there as well.
Oh yeah, true. No, but yeah, make it fun. I would say if your kid loves it, just nurture it. Keep on, build a nice environment. So get some training products. My favorite, targets. Obviously, good targets. You got to have those in net. Just give them something to aim at. Radar gun is awesome. I fired that up for Mason, and it becomes a video game, right? And then
gives them a number to look at.
Exactly. And then encourage games too. right? If you can get the friends over
Right.
and just have them playing,
Yeah, that creates real scenarios, even if it's just road hockey too.
exactly. It helps them read cues and deke people, and they're gonna do that a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask a kid who's not that motivated to shoot some pucks, they'll do it for 10, 15 minutes. You get their friends out there, 2 hours maybe,
Yeah,
right?
and even if they're not playing like a quote unquote game, they're gonna create their own game, and if they have a hockey stick in their hands,
yeah,
it's still something, right?
yeah, and I would say public skates. Find the public skates and go out to a lot of those, especially like with the younger kids. Right?
Or like public stick and pucks, like where you can actually have.
Yeah, if you can find stick and puck for the kids, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, public skating is awesome when they're early on, so they can they'll find their friends there. They'll play tag.
Mm-hmm.
You know how good kids get playing tag at public skating?
Right.
Just ripping around trying to catch each other.
Yeah. That's
dodging like the old people.
Yeah.
The slow movers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I would say that would be the biggest one. And then in the wintertime, outdoor rinks.
Yeah. 100%.
Get them on the outdoor rinks.
And invite some of their favorite, like their friends from the team too. Like get everyone out there, because like the more you have out on the outdoor rink, the more it can get competitive. You know
what you do is
real like scenarios.
You find the parent on your team that has a backyard rink, and you start being real nice to that parent, right?
Make the mac and cheese. Invite them.
Can I get you a coffee? Oh, you going to the game? Yeah. What do you? Oh, double. Okay, yeah, sure. You want some Timbits too, right? You're showing up with the Timbits and coffee for the next few weeks, and then the rink's frozen. Oh, what's that? Oh, you just got an invite. You just got an invite to the guys. Oh,
hey, what are you doing this weekend?
Yeah, sure.
Boom, cha-ching.
Sure, Mason will come over and play on your outdoor rink that you have to shovel and flood, and and then what?
Aren't you that parent in this scenario?
I am that parent.
Inviting the friends over for a skate to try to get Mason out there.
I'm the one with the outdoor rink, but how amazing would it be if you could just ditch your kids on someone for a few hours, right? Just get rid of your. Oh, you've got a break to finally do stuff that you want to do.
I think I'll be the parent, like when I have kids.
Yeah.
Hopefully they want to play hockey, but
yeah,
I'm gonna try, obviously.
Yeah.
I think I'll be the parent that's trying to make friends with the other parents, and I'm like equally wanting to have new like hockey parent friends to hang out with.
Yep.
With the kids.
Yeah.
Like I think I'll like be the one trying to make an outdoor rink and invite the parents over.
Exactly. Oh, we're having a rink party for sure.
Yeah.
Right when it's frozen, I'm gonna invite all of Mason's team over and have like a big fire, all that stuff. Something that obviously in our neighborhood when we moved in here, Mason was still young, and I was like, I cannot wait till he starts playing hockey, and we're just gonna have like team parties, and I figured like there's gonna be a ton of hockey players all his age in this. There's not.
Yeah.
We looked down the street. It was all retirees. I'm like, where's the families at? There was one.
You did buy into an expensive development neighborhood.
I mean, we got in cheap, but yeah,
most people that buy in developments are retired.
The thing is, in this development, it was higher priced than like a starter home.
Yeah.
So I guess a lot of families go with the starter home.
Yes.
And also it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. So a lot of people won't live here because it's not close to like.
Yeah.
If you're retired, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to commute to work.
Yeah.
But a lot of people who work here are like pilots, right? Because they don't mind the commute, the odd time to the city, or they have their own businesses because they work from home anyways.
Yes.
Right. And then everyone else is retired. Anyways, there was a family right down the one house over, same age. I was like, oh, this is sweet. They're gonna be on the same team. They're gonna play. Oh no, we play baseball. What? And I tried. I'm like, no, you got to sign your kids up for hockey. I got them out in the backyard rink. I had them.
You gave them a brochure.
Oh yeah,
and a free membership to the pond.
I was like, I will train your kids, sign them up. But they're like, oh no, it interferes with the baseball schedule, and we like to ski in the winter. So I was like,
Jeez, the skiers.
And then now Mason is friends with a few kids in the neighborhood, but they're 1 year older than him, right? So every time I'm like, hey, you want to come out on the rink? We got practice. Oh, let's go.
They're always on the ice.
Always. You cannot be friends with someone on a different team than you in hockey. Every invite I send, oh no, we got a tournament that weekend.
Right.
Oh no, they got a game, and it's a away game. It's a 2-hour drive. Right. It's like they're just always. This is always gone. So it's like, but
tough.
Yeah.
What? All right. What's if you were to think of one overarching tip that you could give to hockey parents for the regular, like for during the season to keep kids engaged and having fun and looking forward to their next hockey practice or game?
Yeah. Okay.
Like all encompassing one paragraph, one tip. What would it be?
Okay. Yeah. I gotta give me a paragraph here.
Yeah.
First, the most important thing is that they believe in themselves. So that whatever you can do to like, they believe they're a hockey player. They believe they can do it. They believe they can improve.
Right.
Right. And that will lead them to actually want to try more. Right. So inspire them somehow.
Okay.
You know, pump them up. Tell them how great they're doing. Notice the good things. Right.
Oh yeah, point out like the little things they do.
Like
it goes a long way.
Dude, like we were running a practice, and Mason's crossovers are great. I'm like, dude, you're crushing those crossovers, right? And you see the smile come on his face.
Then the next time he's doing circles whenever you mention crossovers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like of course you can always find something you can correct, but if you always talk to your kid, you're always like, oh, da, 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 da. You're always in their ear trying to tell them what they can fix. They think they're never good enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like really fire them up about some things they're doing right. I saw you, like I do this with all the kids, every kid on the team. Sophie, oh, I saw that pass you made right on the tape. I love that. Keep doing that. One of the kids who's like not as strong as a skater, right? But I'm like, we need to see you moving your feet out there. Move your feet. And then after the game, man, you were really moving your feet. That made a big difference. How'd that feel? The kid's got a big smile on his face, right?
Right.
So point out the good stuff. Second thing, make it fun, right? Whatever you can do to add a little fun, a little element of fun to it, it's going to make them want to practice more and enjoy it more. Obviously, right?
Yeah.
It's simple stuff. Like I said, add a cardboard box in the net.
Even in the high end, like high skill levels, it's still got to be fun. Or when they turn 17, they're going to quit anyway. You know.
Yeah.
You can force your kid to play hockey a long time and like have quote unquote fun. Yeah. Like scoring goals and all this stuff. But then if they're not actually truly enjoying it and having fun, then when they start to make their own decisions, they're going to be like, yeah, this isn't for me.
And then for like the lazy kids, because like there are some lazy kids, it's like you kind of got to like pull them to the rink. And in that case, it's like
the sleepy stands.
It's like, well, do you just let your kid run the show and you say, okay, you can just quit hockey or quit sports, and then what?
Some discipline.
You got to teach them some discipline, right?
Yeah,
that's exactly
or
it.
Commitment.
Or commitment, right?
All in the
so it's like, no, you're gonna play a sport. You need to be athletic. You can't be on your iPad all day, every day, because there are some kids that's just what they want to do, right? So for those kids, I love that. Teach them some discipline. You want to go on your iPad? You have to practice first, right? 30 minutes shooting pucks, 30 minutes working your stick handling, then you can earn 30 minutes on the iPad.
Right.
And use the same approach for their school, because they're probably slacking at school too. Okay, you want to watch TV today? It does not until your room is clean and you've read for 20 minutes.
Those are some great tips to help you keep your kids motivated through the season. Let's get into what's happening in hockey.
All right.
I just got a notification. I want to kick us off with this, that the NHL Draft is going to be hosted in the Las Vegas Sphere.
Oh.
Which, honestly, that's probably the best location you could possibly do it.
That crazy. If you haven't seen it, it's a giant orb in Vegas, and the entire thing is basically a TV screen. It's so weird.
Yeah, I've seen like footage of like the U2 concert they did the first opening night.
Well, so the inside is crazy too. Yeah.
Well, the outside, they put like emojis and like eyeballs and all this stuff on it.
Outside, they can put anything on it. So they put an eyeball, and it just looks like a giant eyeball is blinking in the city. Like imagine flying over that. Like you're on an airplane and you just see an eyeball on the ground. Are you not like thinking that you've just entered like some evil fortress?
Yeah.
Right?
And the people in the hotels nearby all looking at it.
Oh, it's so weird. Yeah. And sometimes
golf courses and
they put emojis that are like doing like little expressions. It's like a living ball, a giant orb in the middle of the city.
Sphere,
so yeah, a sphere.
Yeah.
But it is cool that they had basketball on it, and it looks like so realistic. But on the inside, I saw that U2 concert.
Yeah, they can put like a sky and like a sunset.
Oh my gosh,
it's pretty crazy.
If you've been to an IMAX, it's kind of like IMAX, but in complete encompassing like your entire. It's like 360 on your entire. Like it's wild. They can make it look like space. You're in outer space. It's so weird. It's wild.
Just picture all of the NHL GMs doing their phone calls in the middle of the ocean or something.
How are they going to incorporate that for like this hockey? Like, are they going to utilize
just playing highlight reels on the screen the whole time? Everyone's like distracted.
Like someone's like skating circles around.
Yeah.
Like, and the first overall pick, and they have like highlights of the guy. Like,
well, I would hope that they would put like some sort of graphics and like video footage on the outside of the Sphere too.
Oh yeah,
For
they
people
got
to
to.
watch while they're in Vegas.
They've got to. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got to be a giant ad for the NHL, 100%.
Like I would be disappointed if they just had like status quo, not very anything interesting
like
on
a
the
giant,
outside.
a giant hockey puck.
Because like they're gonna film from the inside live for everyone to watch, but I want to see. I almost want a little sphere in the bottom of the screen to see what's playing on the outside at the same time.
True.
Yeah.
Hey, let's just go. Hey,
We should, yeah.
I'll get on the horn with the NHL.
just,
Be like, yo,
just book a hotel room to look at it from a distance.
that's true. No, I mean NHL can bring us out. We went to the combine and
Yeah.
we created some great content.
Yeah, we should go this year.
See-
Get the puck daddies there. That'd be fun.
Vegas for the draft, the Sphere. I want to check that thing out.
Yeah, for sure.
And of course, they want to showcase it, right? Like show off what they're utilizing.
Yeah, I wonder what they paid to be able to host it there. Apparently, it's going to be the last centralized draft where like all of the GMs and everyone goes to the actual venue arena.
So I saw that note, decentralizing.
Yeah.
This one is not decentralized. That one is.
The 2024 draft will be held at the Vegas Sphere.
Yep.
And it's the same as usual.
Yep.
But that's the last one where everyone will be in one place.
Okay.
And
And then after that, it's decentralized. The draft just happens, and
yeah, kind of like during COVID, I think. Like
yeah,
where they did it all electronically, or like you don't have to be there if you don't like. The players will be there, but probably only like the first
that's what I'm saying.
round picks, maybe. Like,
Well,
I
yeah,
don't know.
like you're there for the first round, and then
Yeah.
after that, you just like check on your phone who went where.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm interested because like, as like fans going to watch, it's like, okay, are you gonna go and watch now? Like, I don't understand. Like I guess you're going to see like the main picks, and then you kind of leave.
Yeah, that's interesting. Are there other?
Because like I feel like a lot of people go to see the chaos of the GMs like running around on the floor, like making Kyle Dubas has
Yeah.
like 6 phones in his hand, like that's
Yeah.
kind of that's why I would want to go.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because it does seem like why don't you want to get together with your squad and hang out and like sit at the table like? But yeah,
I don't think it's like a thing that the GMs care about too much. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's like they can gather their crew and be in their own office.
Yeah.
And make the decisions better without being like disorganized.
okay.
But there's not as much chaos, and I live for the chaos. So.
It'll be interesting.
And I know that the media teams too. Like I've heard other podcasts and like Elliot Friedman and Jeff Merrick and all these guys saying that they're gonna miss it.
Yeah.
And Chris Johnson too. They're like, like selfishly they like the draft because they get to go and like all of their colleagues are in one place at
That's
once.
exactly it. It's like a conference.
But
Right,
maybe
it's-
that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get more on like the NBA draft
Yep.
type stuff where it's like more about the players and like introducing them and like hyping it up and making it more of a show.
Yeah.
Than it is about GMs shaking hands and making phone calls on the floor. Like, because at the end of the day, that's not going to bring in a lot of new fans.
Yeah. I
you
guess.
know. So anyway, interesting. I'm excited to see that.
Well, we have to go then if it's the last centralized one.
I know we got to get in on this conference.
Yeah, I mean in Vegas. So then they're still going to hold like a draft somewhere though after this when it's decentralized. It just won't be as much of a spectacle.
It's just not centralized in the sense of all of the GMs will be there and the
Okay.
teams will be
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
It'll be like the players are there, there's fans there, and it's televised.
Okay.
But it's not like the draft floor.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I'm
like
pretty sure the NHL is I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the NFL, the NBA, all those drafts, they don't have like it's optional whether you go or not. Like
Yeah.
a lot of them they show the players on their couch. Like in the NFL, I know they have the players on the couch with like their whole family, basically their whole city at their house
Okay.
to be announced like when they get picked.
Huh.
And then it's like a big party, but they set up cameras in each of the main like picks house, like maybe like the top 10 or something.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see what the NHL does. It's a copycat thing, right? They
Yep.
always seem to do whatever's working for the other leagues. So.
Oh, I see. Next up on the docket is the Corey Perry statement.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting. That whole debacle. I'm glad it's over.
Yeah.
Like we talked about in the last pod, and I know you guys were like, "Should we?" Because it's like, and we went. I'd say we handled it well. Essentially, like all the rumors were just rumors. Oh, did you see Connor Bedard's statement too?
I saw that one. Yeah. It basically saying it's all BS.
It's so like, if you are a legitimate journalist, how are you going to go into a line of questioning about something that internet trolls made up and
Yeah.
like teenagers are joking about in the locker room.
I feel like you should just leave it.
Oh my gosh. And he basically, like, after the third question, he's like, okay, this is all just internet BS. Like, stop asking me questions about it.
Yeah.
All right, let's read Corey Perry's statement here.
Are we gonna read the whole thing, or just like kind of
Up to you.
I feel like you can look it up yourself if you want to read it. Essentially, he's apologizing for the rumors that have come out because of what he is struggling with, like whatever happened behind the scenes. There's clearly some struggles with alcohol, and he's in whatever programs for mental health he can do for that.
Yep.
And it's obviously a difficult time for him. We don't know the details of why the Blackhawks basically terminated his contract, because usually they would go into an agreement to go in this, like, the program for substance abuse and not like terminate their contract.
Yeah,
it's
not
like
immediately.
It's a mutual, like, better for the better for the player, but there had to have been something that happened that made them be like, okay, we can't let you on the team anymore.
Yeah.
So,
Or it's like Russia, where they just like try to terminate you any chance they can if they're not happy with your performance or something.
but the thing is, he was one of the leading.
He was doing well.
He's
Yeah,
doing well.
he was
Like,
doing well.
so I don't know.
It's not like they were just looking for an excuse to get rid of him, like Don Cherry.
Yeah, like, I don't think that argument holds too much weight, because
No.
yeah, like, he's still got a little bit left in the tank, and the Blackhawks are so bad that who cares who's on their team anyway. Like,
Yeah, that's true. They're
Like,
at the bottom of the
as
barrel.
long as Bedard's looking like he's like shaping up to be a regular, like, 50 goal scorer, like, then they don't care.
Yep.
So yeah, he basically apologizes and said that his behavior is inappropriate, wrong, etc.
I would like to apologize to my fans, my family. I'm embarrassed and I have let you all down. As a result of my actions, there's been speculation and rumors. I'm sickened by the impact this has had on others. And this is what, like, just going like off this quote. So what happens if you're not clear, you're vague. You just leave things for speculation.
Mm-hmm.
The speculators will speculate, and the more
Yeah.
vague, the more fantastical they'll make the rumors,
Mm-hmm.
right? Unless you give them like squash.
That's kind of
early.
on the Blackhawks too, though. But
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying, though, that there had to have been something that happened involving alcohol that he did,
Oh yeah.
that, like,
He did something that's like,
offside in some way.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
got to be offside.
Yeah.
It's got to be. And like, oh, we won't talk about it, and you don't talk about
And
it.
there's
we're
got to
just
be
gonna-
something legal there too. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, true. Maybe there's like some.
Like, so they
further
can't, they
investigation.
couldn't, like, because it doesn't make sense to me that they would have, like, not let him at least play the game if there wasn't something, like, legal.
He did something inappropriate. It was more extreme. Nothing that could be like excused.
Yeah.
Where they felt like we have to draw a hard line. Maybe they're under pressure from like previous things that have happened on
Oh,
their
for
team.
sure they are.
We're like, no, let's just really take a hard like approach to this.
But if they're gonna do that, then you'd think they would just flat out say what happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, there's more to this story,
Yeah.
and also seeing Corey Perry issue this statement, apology, whatever you want to call it.
It's good.
I also feel like whoever started that rumor should be issuing an apology to Bedard's family.
Come on. Come on. The people who start those types of rumors aren't the type of people that are going to come out and say, I'm sorry for my actions and everything
Okay, yeah, maybe not the ones that started it, but the ones that put fuel on the fire just to pile on and get the views, you know?
The websites that started posting it like
Yeah.
it was news.
Yeah, like,
It's just ridiculous.
they should have their own apology articles.
Hey, what about Patrick Kane? Apparently, Patrick Kane on a podcast, he said that he was like looking out for an invite. Oh, maybe the Blackhawks will bring me back in like a leadership role, and like they didn't show any interest in him.
Well, obviously they didn't extend him, so
No, like, well, he got traded,
yeah.
right? But then like once they get Bedard, he was thinking, oh, maybe they'll like bring me back in a leadership role. He went on to say like, I know when I was a rookie on the team, they had like some older guys on the team that really helped me develop,
Mhm.
and you know like
Someone to look up to, shape their game.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then he said they went with a different leadership role. I guess they had Perry
I
and
mean,
Foligno.
The only problem with that is he's probably referring to guys like Marian Hossa, and
Yeah.
and they still had a ton of game left, and we're still like scoring like 50 points a season, you know?
Yeah, true.
So it's probably not the same level as like what he would be referring to. Like I'd say Bedard is he looks up to Kane already from his past, not from what he's going to bring to the team now.
Yeah, well, but that's the thing. It's like Kane like lived and breathed Chicago Blackhawks. Like, so I think he would be a great mentor for and
Yeah,
very
that's
skilled.
true. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I guess like kind of like off ice type stuff, or like mentality
Yes.
around the game, but not necessarily like modeling your game after.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to find the quote here. Obviously happy for the organization, for Connor too, to go to a city like that. It's a great place to play. He's already doing well. Oh, this isn't the right one. 1 second.
Oh, I hate when they split up quotes.
Yeah, it just keeps on going.
This is Kane.
Okay, here it is. Okay, maybe they'll try to bring even like Taser or myself back, but it seems like they're kind of headed in a different direction now. So yeah, didn't hear from them, but I'm thinking they're trying to kind of rebuild and get their young players in there and give them a chance. It is what it is. And then when asked whether he took that a little personally, he said, "No, I don't think so. I was there for a long time. I was there for 16 years. We had a good run when I was there. I think there's always a piece in the back of my mind that maybe it could potentially happen or even down the line or in the future." So he's saying, no, maybe I still will go back for like 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I mean, hip scraping, whatever surgery he got.
Yeah.
There's Backstrom got that surgery.
Yep.
And who else did? There's a couple others. And, what's his face? I guess it doesn't really matter. Anyway, no player has played more than
I saw
50
that.
games.
Yeah,
after getting that surgery.
There's a lot of pressure on Kane after getting that to put up points and
even just to stay in the
even
lineup.
to stay in the league. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a tough surgery to come back from, but if anyone can do it, it'll be Kaner on a up and coming Detroit team.
Oh yeah.
With lots of upside, back with DeBrincat, and they got lots of young talent.
Yeah, they got Strowman to DeBrincat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who else? There's another guy on that team that's been
Detroit. Oh, I mean, they got Morty Sider.
Oh, Sider on D. Yeah.
I mean, he's nuts.
The Detroit fans are nuts for him. They really like him, and I don't blame them.
Yep.
I would like a defenseman like that on the Leafs. Moving on to the next in the lineup here, I got a question for you, Jer.
Yep.
The Oilers have won 4 straight. But
they have.
But they're still, I think,
dog water.
They're still like below the Ducks in the standings or something. Like they're still like 13th in the West. I don't know what it is, but
what are we, a quarter way through the season now?
They say that if you're not within 5 points of the top team, like top wild card spot.
Yep.
Heading into December 1st, then the odds of making the playoffs go significantly down, like just historically.
All right, so you're asking me, are they going to make the playoffs?
Are the Edmonton Oilers going to make the playoffs, or are they going to be disappointed?
I'm going to say they're not going to make the playoffs.
You don't think they will?
No, I think, like, even though, like, McDavid had 9 points in 2 games, and I think it got 3 points in that. So I think he had like 14 points in like 3 games.
Right.
I think like it's just a huge hill to climb. It's a lot of pressure, and they have to stay red hot.
Mm-hmm. They have to basically win
and a couple
3 out of 4 of like every one of their next games for at least a few months to get back into it.
And then other teams have to, like, what if other teams start making a run?
That's what I mean. Like
above them,
they have to be above 500 by significant marker just to pass. Like because even Arizona, they've been beating like some of the better teams recently to keep climbing up. Like
comeback squad. So there's a really good website that I'm on right now called Sports League Stats, and they do this amazing graph of like the chance of making the playoffs.
Okay.
So the Oilers started obviously at 50% chance of making the playoffs, and then here's their performance. They dipped down in November to basically a 5% chance.
Yeah, and then after winning 4 in a row, they went up to,
I would say, about an 18% chance to make the playoffs.
They have it that high.
Yeah, it's just a little below 20%.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, actually. I would have thought it would be lower.
You think still lower?
But I think because the McDavid and Draisaitl.
No, this is completely numbers based.
Oh, okay.
It's all about the other teams, how many games they have left,
and the strength of schedule and all that stuff. Like
it doesn't predict anything.
Oh, okay.
There's no prediction. It's just numbers based.
Mm.
So it's really cool. It's fun to look at because you just can track a team's graph of like you see some wild swings. Like a few years ago, it's like LA was up here, and then they went a skid. They went way down there, and then they had this miraculous run in the end and came back and made it. Right? And you see when you really see huge jumps is like later in the season where you have those key matchups.
where one team will win 2 points, the other won't, and they
then
leapfrog.
it really like changes the dynamics of like your chances of making it. And that like so basically that factors all that in. Like what team is playing? Like if two competing teams or like someone from their conference is playing someone from a different conference, you know, like it matters differently.
So what's that site called? Sports?
Yeah, it's called Sports Club Stats.
All right, hit that one up. I'm gonna bookmark that one. That's pretty cool.
It's addicting to look at like later in the season and to click on all the like different teams and see like what their journey has been like. It's a really cool graphical.
Right.
Oh, there you go. You got it right there. So click on a team that made a huge spike recently. Right there. What team is this? No, down. Yeah.
This one here.
Yeah.
There we go.
The Coyotes.
Yeah, because they've beaten. I was saying.
Oh my gosh.
They've beaten like 4 out of the 5 most recent Stanley Cup champions.
So the Coyotes are at an 80% chance to make the playoffs right now. Yeah, and they just beat like all the top guys, and that's what I'm saying. That's why their numbers spiked. It's because they beat like the Golden Knights. They beat the Avalanche. They beat the teams. They're taking points away from the teams that are above them.
Blues, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, they beat the Blues. So all these teams that are above them, they beat them. If they're beating the bottom feeders, they don't jump that quick. So they have a huge spike. They went from probably like 45% to 80%
in like a week.
In a week.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then look at this. This is probably Chicago, eh? The one that's just riding on the bottom. No, go over.
Oh, riding along the bottom. The Sharks.
Sharks. Oh, of course. Sorry, the Sharks. Yeah, they're the worst.
They started around 50 and then
they just plummeted
right down to basically like 0.
Well, yeah, like I don't even see a spike there.
No.
Like so, even when they won games, like
it just stopped the decline slightly.
It just stopped the bleeding.
They stopped
a little.
They just put a little gauze in it.
Yeah, so we can see on the other side the points they've gotten.
Mm-hmm.
But it just their downward slide they slid a little less.
Yeah, this is a neat site. I like it.
Yeah, it's fun to kind of just look and be like, oh boy.
Right.
All right.
So you don't think the Oilers are going to make the playoffs?
I think they have a 20% chance of making it.
Fair.
No, I just don't think it's going to happen.
And McDavid says, and I took that personally.
Oh, you think he's going to go?
No, I don't. So here's the thing. I think that one of the teams in the top, like LA or Colorado or Vegas, are going to have to slip up a lot to basically kind of make the gap less huge.
Yeah.
You know, like, and like, I just don't see that happen.
No, these teams that are holding those spots right now, unless there's an injury and like they lose a piece and they go into a big slide.
Yeah.
Like that can happen.
Like basically the whole Western Conference will have to stop. like it has to basically even out. There can't be as big of gaps between. Because like basically the top 4 teams right now, top 5 teams are just like lights out.
Oh, they're amazing.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And like if they're not playing top, they're still like a contender.
Yeah. So essentially, some team has to have a huge fall from grace, and then no other team can have a Cinderella story.
Yes.
It has to be the Oilers.
Like LA has to drop right off, and the Coyotes can't jump in there.
Exactly.
You know,
Coyotes are taking the Oilers' Cinderella story right now.
Yeah.
So there can't be 2 Cinderellas. It has to be only one. And if it's the Coyotes, it's Coyotes. And the Oilers, it just doesn't. I don't know. I think obviously they're going to try to add some pieces or shake things up. But it's out of desperation. Maybe it's too little too late come trade deadline. And all these teams that are already good are just going to try to get stronger.
They have to stop the bleeding in terms of like goals. Because they've been letting in way too many goals. And they're paying Jack Campbell for 5 more years. So
sorry about that, guys.
I love Jack Campbell. I want to see him like succeed. Put him back in when McDavid's scoring 3 a game, and it doesn't matter if Campbell lets in like 4 out of 5 shots. He's
essentially a men's league goalie, where it's like, yeah, let in 5 as long as you can score 8.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm good for. I'm good to save about half the shots tonight, boys.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, what is it? The Samsonov approach to goaltending.
Oh God.
5 goals on your first, or 3 goals on your first 5 shots. Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds about right. So if the Oilers miss the playoffs, I wanted to also ask you, do you think McDavid requests a trade?
I hope so.
You hope he does?
Yeah. Get him out of there. I've never liked the I was salty at the Oilers the second they drafted him because I'm like, why do they get Gretzky? Why do they get Gretzky and then have a parade of 1st, 2nd, 3rd overall picks, continue to fail, Like they were a black hole for talent,
Right.
right? Like they had Nugent Hopkins, they had Nail Yakupov, which was a bust, but it doesn't matter. Like they got first, like top 5 pick after top 5 pick, could not get
Convert to anything.
right.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to get. I said they should put a limit. Like there's a rule, you can only get the first overall pick once, and then it's got to be like a 5-year gap before you get your next one.
Right.
You can't just keep on sucking and taking all the best talent, right? Like let these guys go somewhere else. Anyways, and then they get, after they already got so much talent on their team and could not develop it and could not improve, then they get McDavid. Like
Get rewarded for their failures.
oh, it's just sickening. You had Gretzky already. Share some with the rest of the league. Right? Let McDavid go to Toronto.
I think it's just a timing thing too, because like you see guys like Matthews now, they're not taking 8-year deals, and like the Crosbys and the Ovechkins taking 12-year deals back in the day.
Yeah.
It's getting like shorter and shorter contracts. So I think it's on the way to seeing more turnover, but hockey players are hockey players. And I could see, like, I don't see McDavid requesting a trade. I could see them maybe trying to see if they can change things up, but
they're not going to.
No.
Right? They just look at their history. It's just mismanaged.
Yeah.
If a mismanaged team, I don't know what it is, but with the amount of talent they've been handed, that they haven't been able to come close, and like they keep on. Like, I guess they made the playoffs a few, like, but they don't go deep. They don't live up to what they should be doing with that amount of talent. So if I'm McDavid, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go to an organization that can make, like, I want to go to Vegas.
Right.
Right? Put me on Vegas or Colorado. I mean, they've won.
I think that McDavid's going to ride it out with Edmonton until his contract's up, and then he'll assess his options in free agency and just see like how much money he can get.
Fair. Yeah.
So with that in mind, I actually will just go right into the next.
Wait. I got one question.
Oh.
If someone's trading for McDavid, what does that even look like? What do you give up?
Okay, you took away my hypothetical scenario.
Oh, okay. Shoot. Sorry.
I was trying to segue into this.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were going to go do something different.
No.
So like, let me throw this out there because it's a great question.
I don't do a transition unless it makes sense.
Great question, Hayden.
Hypothetically.
What would it take?
And I have a scenario here.
Okay, let's go.
Because you're saying, oh, McDavid, I wish that he played for a different team. Obviously, you'd like to see him play for the Leafs.
Yep.
So assuming McDavid is like, yeah, I'm done. I need out of here. I need to like play somewhere else.
Yep.
So the Oilers ring up Toronto.
Yep.
You're Brad Treliving.
Yep.
And they say, we would give you McDavid for Marner, Nylander, and Liljegren. Straight up. Would you do it?
I think
Marner, Nylander, and Liljegren.
yeah. I mean, I think that's
You would do that? You'd give away those three?
yeah.
And maybe like I'd say there'd have to be like a couple low level prospects from Edmonton coming back, and then a draft.
They
pick
always
coming
throw
from,
it, like sprinkle in a little seasoning.
Yeah,
here.
like the little salt and pepper on the side. Like
yeah.
Edmonton gives a defense prospect, and Toronto gives their second round pick or something.
Right, yeah.
Just to like kind of give some speculation there instead of just straight up. See, I don't know. Like, I think that if I'm Brad Treliving, I'd take that deal right away.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that in the long run, it wouldn't work out because I don't think that you can have two first line center talents work on one team, and it's just proven to be that way with McDavid and Draisaitl. You split them up, and then you have so much money caught up in two players.
Well, but if you're getting rid of Nylander and Marner, you're getting rid of 2 contracts for 1.
Yeah, you're getting rid of 2 contracts for 1, so then you just have more spots to fill with less money.
Yeah, you're rounding out the talent, I'd say.
You think?
Like I'd say you're getting.
Well, if you're getting doing a trade for McDavid, it's probably happening right before he needs a new contract.
Yeah, fair.
And he's not going to make less than Matthews.
Yeah.
So you got 2 players making close to 14 mil. McDavid's probably going to get 15 mil by the time that happens, when his contract's up.
Yeah, you guys got to.
So then you got 2 centers making like north of 13 mil.
True.
And say Marner signs like for 11 and Nylander signs for 10.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah, you got rid of some, but you still have.
So it's 21 million versus like 14 million, maybe.
Yeah, but I don't think, like, contracts and salary cap aside, I just think that I don't think that the Leafs would be stronger overall, like in the long run, with a McDavid Matthews combo, unless one of them wants to play wing. But then you've just got so much in your top line.
Okay, let's go back to the Leafs then. If they were going to do a blockbuster trade,
Mm-hmm.
who should they get?
If they were going to do a blockbuster,
Yeah.
like this season,
They're giving up Marner and Nylander. Who do you want back?
from the Leafs perspective,
Yeah.
I think I would want a guy like Shea Theodore
Okay.
on D, or Pietrangelo.
Right.
Like
I was
basically
thinking,
like a staple on
Give
D.
me Rasmus Dahlin.
Yeah, Rasmus Dahlin would be up there. Tage
Right.
Thompson,
Oh,
like do a
that's
Buffalo
some
trade.
talent.
Like I think if it's gonna be a blockbuster, it's got to be like a same team.
Or would you like Connor Ingram and Logan Cool? Like you go
Go younger.
like Connor Ingram. Like that's the thing. If you trade for a goalie, he has to be established. Like Connor Ingram's like lights out right now for Coyotes, but that could change next year. Like Jordan Binnington.
Right.
Binnington had like a crazy season, and the next season he was like, eh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a lot of it comes from like the power dynamic too, right? Like you can only be going for guys that like a team is looking to move them.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Oh.
they have all the power because like I didn't want to move them. You're begging me to take Marner and Nylander.
We're just speaking hypothetically. I'd say for sure you want a staple defenseman.
That's like the thing that the Leafs
Moritz
have been missing.
Sider, Rasmus Dahlin. You want
Dougie Hamilton.
Dougie Hamilton, yeah, someone like that.
Like if you're doing Marner and Nylander both out, and probably a side defense prospect on to go with it, it's gonna be one team. Like you could do like a Aho, Dougie Hamilton,
Oh gosh, yeah,
and like the Leafs are sending.
that's a good blockbuster. That's exciting.
Like that's a blockbuster, and it's a big change for both teams.
Exactly,
Mixing it up.
that excites me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny how we didn't mention Cale Makar or Quinn Hughes because it's like you just know.
It's just not gonna happen.
Well, you just know, right? You
Yeah.
just know they're not going anywhere. We didn't even mention it. Didn't even bring it up.
Yeah.
And
okay,
also-
yeah, I'd like to trade we'll trade Marner and Nylander for Quinn Hughes and Quentin Byfield. Yeah. Two different teams.
But also they're more offensive defensemen, and I think like the Leafs already have Riley, so I
Yeah.
kind of want more of like a shutdown
Right.
guy.
True. All right. What do we got next here? Do you have something for most Canadian? We got to get some like sound effects. I'm gonna find that for the next episode, so we can play like the Canadian national anthem when we do this one or something.
I was thinking I'm just coming up with something on
Spitballing
the
right now?
spot. Spitballing. We could do most Canadian movie. Do you have anything that really comes to mind?
Oh, see, I probably misidentify some movies as Canadian though.
They just felt Canadian to you.
Yeah, like they're not necessarily Canadian, but it felt like it. You know?
It felt Canadian.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, because some of them you just identify. Like I watched Mystery Alaska,
Right.
and like it felt like a Canadian movie. Like they just can't make Canadian movies because it's hard to pitch
Not
that to
enough
the
of
USA.
us.
You know, that's what I'm saying, right? We need
Yeah.
to sell this to America. That's why there's so many football movies.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like Mystery Alaska felt very Canadian because it's like talking about how cold it is, and
Right.
you know, like all
There was
the
one that I
snow.
watched when I was younger, A Fly Away Home, and it was basically about like a goose. They
Yeah.
had a goose and they rehabbed it and had it like fly back down south with the rest of the.
Oh, I
geese.
heard about that. I never watched it.
I don't even remember much about it, but it screams Canadian to me. Or maybe like Dr. Dolittle with the talking bear.
Right. That's funny.
I could see that one being
You know, they don't really make Canadian movies now, do they?
not really open season, kind of.
Open,
Like
yeah.
the
with
kids cartoon
right.
movie, like that was kind of, or Little Brother.
Well, because they used to have like some like or I don't know, like big Canadian actors, like John Candy, I think is Canadian,
Mhm.
right? And he had like some like more Canadian themed movies, like it was shot in Toronto,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And Michael Myers,
Mm.
right? Like he did like some more Canadian, but they don't really do like that. I guess because all the money's in the States.
Yeah.
It's all Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Like every movie I think of, and like, yeah, that's more states than it is Canada.
You know what? Instead of most Canadian, I'm gonna do a list. I'm just Google searching Canadian movies, and we'll see. The one that comes to mind for me, I would say Strange Brew.
Don't know what that is.
No, I didn't watch those in high school. It was past my generation, but it's Bob and Doug McKenzie, who are essentially like Ollie and Jake from On the Bench.
Right.
It's pretty much them, but in the 80s. They started their own show where they just sat in the cold white north and like were Canadian.
Right.
Like, oh, hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, we're gonna crack a couple Molson Canadians, and oh, it's getting cold. Like they just had like this
just
bit.
acting the stereotypes.
Yes.
Yeah. Red Green Show, but it's not a movie.
Yeah, exactly.
That's definitely one.
Okay, so I'm looking at popular Canadian movies.
MVP, most valuable primate.
Oh yeah, let me get into Strange Brew. So it's Bob and Doug McKenzie. It's a wild movie. They're very Canadian. They want to get free beer, so they pretend that they found a mouse in their beer bottle, and they take it to the brewery to. What are you looking up? Oh, most Canadian movies of the 2000s. Oh, you want something more recent, eh?
I'm trying to see like what.
Don't look yet.
Okay.
Don't look yet. Anyway, so they go to the brewery and they try to get free beer, and they realize that there's some like the brewery is evil, and they have to like be the heroes and like crack the case and reveal that the brewery is evil. And then there's a scene where they have to play hockey. I don't know. It's a wild, very Canadian movie. I'm gonna read off some of the popular Canadian movies. I have not heard of a single one of these: Bandit, Golden Delicious, Rice Boy Sleeps, Ice Road.
That's Liam Neeson. Ice Road. What the heck?
That's Liam Neeson.
I never even heard of that.
Oh, Indian Horse. I actually heard that one was really good.
Is it based off of a book?
No, it's a hockey movie too.
Oh,
Indian Horse, 2017, and I haven't seen it. What a shame.
Goon.
Oh yeah, Goon, of course.
It was filmed at. The second one was filmed at the Barry Molson Center or Sadlin Center, or whatever it was at the time.
Hey, CBC, we need more funding for Canadian movies, eh? Let's get our culture out there.
Yeah.
That's sad. We actually can't think of a good Canadian movie. I mean, besides Strange Brew.
Why is this on the list here? Popular Canadian movies. The Fall of the American Empire. That makes a lot of sense.
That makes no sense.
Anyway, we're getting off the rails here.
Okay.
Do you want to do a draft today?
What are we drafting?
Well, if you want to do one or not. I have one lined up.
Wait. You know what? Let's wrap it up. Let's make this in a quick one. Let's do the mailbag and wrap it up.
All right. Minor hockey mailbag or just mailbag madness?
Mailbag, like we're doing men's league mailbag, minor hockey mailbag. Send us your questions about minor hockey. Send us your questions about just anything other than the NHL, I guess.
Pretty much, yeah, hockey.
Yeah.
But not NHL.
Do you have any?
I kind of already alluded to the one someone asking about how to keep their son motivated.
Here's a great one. And because we had awesome mustaches, the guy started his question. Mustache you a question.
Oh, we need to put them for that one.
There we go. What list of etiquettes do you think should be respected for men's pickup hockey? No refs. So we're not talking about men's league hockey. We're talking about pickup hockey.
Pickup hockey etiquette.
Yes.
Okay. Like do's and don'ts type?
Yes.
Okay.
First thing that comes to mind for me, your shift, your ice time, okay? First thing you do is you have your little warm-up, you move the puck around.
Everyone's skating laps.
Yeah, people are working on their shot, doing some little dangles, whatever. That's going to last a few minutes. Just out of magic, people start to come to the center, right? One guy starts it after maybe 10 minutes, and then everyone knows, and they all put the pucks in the back of the net. Everyone gets in the middle, and then you sort out the team. You figure out, okay, how many people showed up? Because it usually happens 10 minutes. Sometimes people come a little bit late. We've got 8 blacks. We've got 9 whites or lights and darks.
Mm-hmm.
You sort out the teams. Maybe you got 15 on each side. Who knows?
Yeah.
So some people go to the bench. A few people stay out, right? Here is where you decide how long your shifts are going to be. This is the biggest etiquette for me. Do not stay out there for 6 minutes if you've got like 10 people waiting on the bench to get out there. Go out there, skate up and down a few times, and then you're off.
Mm-hmm.
I like a minute and a half because it's pickup hockey, sure. But if there's a lot of guys on the bench, you shorten that up. It's like 45 seconds, boom, boom, and go.
Yeah.
Right? And then what happens, though, is that the one guy will stay out for 3 minutes, and then he's like, oh, that guy's out for that long. I'm going to stay out for that long because you want your ice time, too.
Yeah.
And then you got, like, it takes you 10 minutes to get back on the ice if you have too many subs.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if there's not so many subs.
I'd say the etiquette is to at least pretend like you're trying to take a quick shift.
Okay. Big beef. If you are going to take a long shift, do not glide for 1 second. If you want to stay out there for 3 minutes, you better be hauling ass the whole time. I do
For
not.
pickup hockey?
Yes.
Mm,
Yes.
I guess so. It depends on the pickup hockey.
Do not go out there and coast around for 5 minutes and then come to the bench. You are wasting everyone's time.
Right. Kind of to follow up that etiquette.
Yep.
It's on the same note. Usually when I go to pick up hockey,
Yep.
there's only like 1 or 2 extras on the bench.
Yes, then you can coast around a little. That's fine.
But if I'm judging my shift length, I don't judge it based on how long I'm out there.
Yep.
When there's only 1 or 2 guys on the bench,
100%,
I
yeah.
judge it by who am I taking. Like once I see the guy on the bench that I took last time, I'm like, okay, that's when I go off.
Yes. Yeah.
Because then I'm like, we made the
Yes.
full cycle.
I like that.
And like you know that you're being fair if like that guy has been in there for like 30 seconds to a minute. Okay, now it's my turn. I'll swap
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that. So I'm talking when you have like a decent,
Yeah,
like
like
a proper
a good
showing.
turnout, yeah.
There's 20 guys on each side.
Mhm.
The benches are full.
Yeah.
Like, get your exercise and then get off. Let the next guy get out there. But yeah, when there's only like 2 guys on the bench or 3,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, you know who took you off.
Mhm.
And then you're like, okay. And then you kind of count in your head. Yep, he's had 3 minutes on the bench. All right, I'm going to hop off. You know when it's your time to get off.
Another etiquette that comes to mind is in terms of being prepared. So you bring your own water bottle. You bring more than 1 jersey so that if you need to even out the teams, you have another, like a dark and a light jersey.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
You got to have your own water bottle because you never know with pickup hockey, like who wants to share water bottles. You got to bring your own clear tape if you use it.
Bring some pucks.
Bring some pucks. That's just bonus points, not necessarily etiquette, but it's like you're the hero if you show up and no one else brought pucks and you got a few pucks.
You bring 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Right? Just so you can click them down on the ice. You know you have your own to play with. Because if you show up and no one else brought pucks, and there's only 3 out there,
Mhm.
then you're trying to do your warm-up. You have to go steal someone else's pucks. Then you hit the pipe and it goes over the boards. You're like, oh, sorry, lost your puck, dude.
Yeah.
Right? Now this guy that bought 3.
Especially at like outdoor pickup hockey too.
Yeah.
It's a bit different.
I'd say in a perfect world, everyone would bring a couple pucks.
Mm.
And it would be it'd be nice.
Yes.
For me, next line of etiquette, don't be a donkey out there. Okay? If you're a good player, just relax. Okay? Play hard against the good players, right? You're coming down 1-on-1. You see that other guy, he's got the red bucket, so you know he played junior A.
Mhm.
100% try to toe drag 360 that guy through the legs, whatever. Try any move you want because that guy wants the smoke.
Mhm.
He wants to try to go through, take center, and I'm going to lean into you a little, right?
No, like
But-
play to your opponent to
Right.
your level.
But
to
then
your
the
opponent's
puck goes
level.
into the corner, and Gary, the
with no shin pads.
the orthopedic surgeon who's recently retired, right? Who's dragging his ankles into the corner, goes for the puck. You're gonna let him just
I'd love to
touch-
see what Chippy would say if he's here. You take him out at the legs. No mercy.
you let Gary get the puck and you apply a little light pressure. You put your stick out so he can get his head up and look and try to make a play. And if he passes the puck and hits your stick, then yeah, sure. But you're not going to drive. You're not going to put your knee between his legs, pin him against the boards, lift the stick, strip him the puck, and then skate off, right? Let the other players play a little bit too.
I'm doing Chippy dirty, but I just picture him doing that. Like it could be geriatric in the corner, and Chippy will be bodying him.
Boom. 6 cross checks to
Yeah.
the spine.
You like that, Grandpa?
You don't like it? Don't come out to my pickup hockey.
Yeah.
And another thing, if you're a good player, some good etiquette,
Mm-hmm.
and you're out there with your buddy, because usually you're a friend, you could bring out your friend.
Right.
You're the 2 guys that just got out of college hockey,
Mhm.
and now you want to rip around, right? Don't just pass the puck to each other.
Oh, include everyone. Yeah.
I've been out to those pickup sessions, and it's just the 2 guys. You get on the ice with them, and all they do is set each other up, pass it around. 3 minutes, bing, bang, boom. They only look for each other out there.
Mhm.
Lead passes, so many opportunities. And you pass it to them. Oh, they're going to hold it, puck hog, give it to your friend, tic-tac-toe. And you're like, okay, guys, we want to play too.
Right.
Share the puck. pass it around. If I'm out there and there's some old guys, I'm telling that guy, I'm on the bench, I'm like, yo, Gary, go to the front of the net. I'm going to find you out there, right? And I take it wide. I look for Gary, boom, put it on a stick.
Right.
Share the puck a little. Not every time.
Yeah.
I'm going to be selfish once or twice when I'm out there. I'm going to try a few moves, right? But then
it's about balance.
But then I balance it out. I'm going to sauce it over to the new guy.
Yeah.
The guy who's like just out there learning. And I'm going to let that new guy go through me.
Right.
Once. Just once.
Just once.
Right?
Just so that he has that memory.
This kid who's like 19 and is just learning to play hockey.
Right.
I'm going to give him an open invitation. I'm going to put my stick out like this, and I'm just telling him, like, put it under my stick. I'm going to stop. I'm going to make it look like I'm trying to take the puck, tap it under my stick, and then he burns me. And I just turn around and I watch. I don't turn around and lift the stick and take it, right? You know what I mean? It's for fun. It's pickup hockey.
The generosity.
Yeah. There's a few. Do you got any more? I think I could go on for
yeah,
a whole episode
there's
on
tons. Don't slap shot it through people. That's another one. Like you be conscious of everyone's out there just trying to have a good time. You don't need to be doing slap shots when there's someone in the way. On an open net with no goalie when you're playing posts, go for it, like rip it because it's fun. Another thing to do with goalies, if you only have one goalie, make sure that you evenly split up the amount of time that each team gets to shoot on a goalie.
I like that.
Because it's no fun going to pick up and only being able to try and hit posts or like go if you have one of those shooter tutors to go.
Don't stack aside.
Oh yeah, you want to have an even teams. If you notice about 5 minutes in that it's like unfair teams, just switch it up. And if you're on the strong side, be honest. Be like, yeah, I'm going to switch teams.
Exactly. It's always the light side. I don't know why they always are dust. Whoever is wearing white jerseys, they're always dust.
Because the dark side just knows the power of.
Yeah, but like have that on hand. It's like, okay, so whatever side you're on, it's stacked. Then you're like, I'm gonna slide over to the other side. Let's make a trade. You make a trade after a few shifts,
right,
to even it out, because it's no fun if one side is just dominating.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, I mean, we could probably clip that and just throw it on YouTube. Leave your comments. What's your etiquette for pickup hockey?
Yeah, or your pet peeve, so that we know what is good etiquette.
There you go.
Yep.
I got one more for the mailbag.
One more to wrap her up.
This is a great one. Is it
a Gretzky?
A Gretzky one. A great one. Oh, I get it.
Yeah, there you go.
This one's a great one. Is it crazy to move to better your kid's hockey opportunity? Thinking of moving from Colorado to Minnesota since it's the top hockey state in the U.S.
I mean, we've talked about moving for better opportunity in
down
hockey
the road,
past, but it's like a couple hours south.
Is it crazy to uproot your entire family and move to a completely new location so your kid can play better hockey?
Okay, follow up question to that. Does your kid like hockey? One, is your kid any good?
I just want the answer, Hayden. Is it crazy? Yes or no? Or are you saying it depends?
It depends. Like
depends.
It's only crazy if you're just doing it because you want your kid to be good at hockey. It's not crazy if the kid's like, Mom, I want to play in the NHL, like that.
Right.
I have aspirations and I'm showing that I'm talented and that I have the desire to.
Like,
it'd be crazy if you did that for Mason.
What are you saying about he's not the next McDavid? How dare you?
But you know what I mean? Like,
yes, it's crazy if you just want your kid to be better at hockey and you're gonna.
And you think that it's moving is gonna be the fixer
the solution.
Of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
like your kid's not a wagon, if your kid is not dominating their local,
like Claude Giroux played hockey up in
way nowhere.
What was it?
It was like 17 hours north of here.
It starts with a C. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Anyway, he played like in the middle of nowhere. Didn't get drafted or like got drafted like late.
No, he went to junior B.
Yeah.
He like moved to Ottawa and played some junior B and like, oh, this kid's pretty good. We should call him up to junior A. Oh, we should put him on our OHL team.
That's like an anomaly.
Yeah.
So like there's tons of players that are probably like Claude Giroux that didn't get drafted or didn't make their way to the NHL that dominated through the local hockey system.
Here's the funny thing. He did not dominate his local area. Like, there's a quote from his coach, and I read this like 10 years ago, so I don't know it exactly, but basically like, oh yeah, he was a pretty good player, but I didn't expect him to he was a late bloomer.
Right.
Right. So like he was playing, I guess, at the B level or whatever. Like as far as city center goes, it was like the best hockey in his area.
Right.
But in comparison, like it was
Yeah.
a small town.
Yes.
So he didn't have a lot of competition. Like, oh yeah, he was a good player, but it's not like, oh, he should never have been in this league. He should have moved when he was 9 years old. It wasn't like that type of mentality.
Right.
He had 300 goals and 500 assists. It was nothing like that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, is it crazy to move for your kid to play better hockey if they are dominating their local area?
But also,
It's not that crazy.
and also it kind of depends on how old they are too. Like,
Yeah.
because like lots of kids will dominate when they're like U9 or whatever, but then most kids don't know what they want to do in life,
Right.
in life until
So-
they're at least like a little bit older.
Here's the other thing. Instead of moving, maybe just, try to make a nice donation to your local organization and then have your kid play 1 year up, right? Hey, maybe my kid can play maybe he's U9. Can my kid play on the U11, U10,
There's ways you can
Because
do
then
that,
he's
yeah.
getting more competition.
or
He's gonna
or
develop.
enter into like go for like spring hockey teams that travel.
Yeah.
And like instead of like uprooting and moving altogether, you try the teams that play the best hockey
Yes.
and go to tournaments that play the better teams and give your son or daughter a taste of what that level of hockey is like. And who knows, like there's a lot of politics with hockey and it's not cut out for everyone, like
Yeah.
especially like kids like with ice time issues
Mhm.
and like all this stuff. So it's not for everyone, but it depends.
Here's the thing. In Toronto, people move to Toronto all the time
Mhm.
for their kids to play in the GTHL. And they're not all going to the NHL,
Yeah.
right? It's just, are you ready for the circus that is
Mhm.
like elite minor hockey? Because you might not want that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's better if you just stay and it's chill and your kid has fun. And, if they're really good, they're going to be found,
Yeah.
right? Like look at the list of players from your area or from Colorado that have gone on to play and what path they follow. Because they could play high school hockey and then go on to college and then, really flourish in, college NCAA
Mhm.
and then get drafted,
Yeah.
right?
Now, on a completely different note, if I lived in Colorado and there wasn't a strong hockey culture where I lived, I would want to move somewhere where there's a strong hockey culture.
That's fair.
So,
Yeah.
but it's not because I'm like, yeah, I want my kid to go to the show.
Yeah. It's
And
just
like, I want to go to Minnesota because everyone loves hockey and
it's awesome.
yeah. Right? Like that's a completely different reason though.
Yeah.
Like you're making that decision as an adult, not
Yeah.
for your kid.
Also, like, is hockey all your kid wants to do? Because in Colorado, there's awesome mountain biking and hiking and like it's just fishing,
Right.
right? So Colorado is a great place.
It's on my bucket list actually. I
It's-
want to go there.
It's awesome. Colorado's pretty awesome.
Mhm.
But if your kid is just an absolute wagon, it's not too crazy. Not too crazy to move. But I'd say you want to make sure you actually want to go to that area.
Mhm.
Don't go just for the hockey.
Yes.
Because then if it doesn't work out, you're like, I've wasted my
Do
life.
adult things and make sure that you can commit to it.
It's a little bit crazy.
A little crazy.
It's a little crazy.
And that's a crazy way to end the pod. We'll be back next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep.
Go grab some Puck Daddy merch for Christmas. You guys are the best.
What a sale. What a hard sell on that.
Yeah. We're going to get the most orders we ever have.
A little softer than last week's pitch.
Yeah, there's quite a few people that ordered the merch. We sold out of
Ba, ba,
something.
ba,
I had
ba.
to change it.
Ba, 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 ba.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Hey, are we going to do a shout out? Live shout out?
No,
Okay.
we'll do it next
Gonna
week.
change the world
Cheers.
with my hockey stick. Gonna make a
Got someone
real
mean.
difference. Feed the poor and heal the sick.